What's up? We're back with another edition of the Kickoff. Jason Reid, Mike Jones, and we're looking here as the Redskins prepare for the fourth game of the season. Thursday night, they face the New York Giants. They're coming off a loss to the Eagles, and they really need to get a win here. Have not won a division game since 2012. A lot of guys are banged up. There were 17 guys on the injury report, so they're going to have their durability and their endurance tested. We'll see who can play, who can suit up, and who can't. But a big thing on offense, Jay, that I'm going to be looking for is how Kirk Cousins finishes games. It's great to get off to a hot start. He did a lot of good things, threw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, but the way he finishes games is a little bit of a concern so far. Didn't matter as much against Jacksonville when he only completed 40% of his passes in the second half because it was a blowout. But on Sunday, he completed 47% of his passes in the second half, but in the last 2 drives, he had an interception that killed a scoring opportunity, and then he threw 3 incompletions when they needed to march down and at least get into field goal range to try to force overtime. If he wants to prove himself as a starter in this league, he's got to show that he can perform well in crunch time. And if he can do that, the Redskins will probably start picking up some wins here. What are we looking at on defense?
Well, Mike, on defense, we're looking at a pretty simple equation. You got to get to Eli Manning because obviously, this is a guy who's won 2 Super Bowls. Giants went off to a great start this year, but they had a big victory against the Texans, and he played well in that game. And the next thing is the running game. You got to stop the running game. Rashad Jennings had a very productive day, outstanding day in the victory over the Texans. Got to get that guy down, be disciplined in run fits, do the things you need to do to get off the field on 3rd down. A concern I have, quite frankly, is the secondary.
Right.
You're missing D. Hall now for the rest of the season. Really, your only true playmaker in the secondary, guy who's not just going to go out there and play coverage, but he's actually going to make some things happen. And Brandon Merriweather comes back. People talk about, well, he's an impact guy, but he is not consistent in coverage. He might make some plays in the running game when he's not, getting fined for illegal hits. But in terms of coverage, he's just not consistent. And I think that's a huge problem moving forward this season. But, that's what I'm looking at on the defense right now, Mike.
All right, we'll see if the Redskins can snap this losing streak and pick up a victory. That's the Kickoff for this week. We'll see you next week.